Okay, it's time for the Westside Fantasy Premier League results show, Week 11. There's also a playoff picture emerging that I'll talk about as well. So we'll get to that. Now, okay, first game. Laser Spaniels and DeBiz. Now, DeBiz, in terms of scoring points, is almost as bad, or maybe even a little worse than Laser Spaniels. Definitely down in the same generally stinky part of town. But once again, a team feels the need to bring its A game playing the Laser Spaniels. I just want you guys to know, and this is not by way of making excuses for a 1-10 record, how would you be doing if the average points scored against you was 137? Not very well. That's how you'd be doing. So this week was no exception. DeBiz, who usually, fairly, not so terrific, comes up with 161 points, including 57 from Roethlisberger. Now, that's okay because he had a really good game. Usually the team that gets me gets 70 points from from a quarterback that loses 50-5 or something, but not this week. This seemed pretty legit. 16 from Reggie Wayne, 19 from Ray Weiss, 18 from Noshawn Moreno. Doesn't that sound like something you'd say when playing on Noshawn? I don't know. 12 from Mercedes Lewis, 15 Matt Bryant, Philly. All adds up to 161. It's fabulous. It's just fantastic. Laser Spaniels, 30 from, it was a solid day. 30 from Brady, 15 from Danny Woodhead, who's awesome. Mike from 11 points from Mike. I'm not quite drunk. Williams. Arian Foster, 24. By the way, more points than Peterson since the trade. Just saying. We'll talk about that more again later. But then I have a quartet of stooges. McGahee, Davis, Zach Miller, Manningham. Roll them all up into a great big ball, and you got about 3.5 points. So that's no good. 23 from Chicago. It adds up to 116. It's not enough. 161's more. 1-10. I was almost going, you know how in spades, if you take all the spades, you win? Or isn't that the thing? I was trying to run the table. I was trying to, what's it called? Shoot the moon. I was trying to shoot the moon. And I didn't quite get there because I got the one win. Do you know if I did shoot the moon, I'd win the whole league? You guys probably didn't know that. But DeBiz goes to 4-7. Laser Spaniels 1-10. We're both pretty much irrelevant at this point, except in our role as spoilers. Ghetto Superstar and Smack Attack 1. Now, this game, much more relevant because Smack Attack 1 basically is every game is a playoff game. If he loses one, he's done. One and done. Ghetto Superstar, however, is fighting for position as well. Came into the game 5-5 and left the game. Or I'm sorry, came into the game 6-4, left the game 6-5. He needed to be snorting some Orton on Monday night, but he didn't snort enough Orton. And really, who of us does snort enough Orton? That's what I want to know. His kicker, Dan Carpenter from Miami, produced 0 points in their 16-0 defeat at the hands of Chicago. And really, 23 from Marquez Colston, 25 from Fred Jackson, 124, not a bad score. Smack Attack, however, came up with 49 from Sanchez. Sanchez with 49. Dwayne Bowe with 23. Cedric Vincent, 18. Michael Turner, 18. Ben Watson, 0. 145, that's enough to win. 11 from Rob Baronas. 145, that keeps Smack Attack alive. Keep the attack alive, that's all I'm saying. 5-6, get a Superstar 6-5. All right. The next game, the Jolly Rogers against Jamarcus Bentley. If you want a summary of this game, just think of a bunch of really dumb-looking pirates standing in the middle of the road getting hit by a luxury car. And that is what this game was like because Jamarcus Bentley basically ran the Jolly Rogers over. 153-107. Now, contrary to Tommy's statement on his smack talk thing, Terrain didn't exactly disgrace his family. In fact, that was from the previous week. Never mind. Forget that. One thing you'll know if you play Tommy is there will be smack talk, and most of it's really dull. But on Jamarcus Bentley's side, Matty Ice got 40 points, 10 from Calvin Big Time Johnson, 33 from Greg Jennings, who apparently plays for Green Bay, 24 from Santonio Holmes, Sanchez and Santonio, and 21 from Mike Tolbert. Who the heck's Mike Tolbert? Oh, San Diego running back. Who knew? Last time I guess I still thought Danian Tomlinson was the running back, but I knew that wasn't true. 4 from the Oakland defense. So despite having Oakland as his defense, Phil wins 153-107 because Jolly Rogers had Michael Vick, who put up a very human 35 points. 15 from Larry, I really wish Kurt Warner were here, Fitzgerald. 13 from Chris Johnson. You could think of Chris Johnson as last year's Arian Foster. And then 0 from Seyi Ajirotutu, who, honestly, I think he's giving Vicente Chianco a run for his money in the all-name category. I'm going to say it again. Seyi Ajirotutu. Pretty awesome. but not enough. Despite that name, the Jolly Rogers lose by 44 points. All right, now we got the Ferocious Finnick against the Eye. Now, Ferocious Finnick comes into the game at a ferocious 6-4, and the Eye came in at a ferocious 6-4. But neither of them left the game with that record. But the problem for the Finnick is that they left with a worse record. 20 out of Eli Manning. Now, Eli, what's wrong with this guy? Isn't he? I mean, I know he's like a big, powerful, athletic, but don't you just want to smack him in the face? Isn't he just a guy you'd like to smack in the face? 19 from Thomas Jones. 12 from Jeremy Macklin, 15 from Green Bay Diva, 1.7 from freshman sensation Javid Best. Over on the I side, Aaron Rodgers is at 56 points. Now, if you were going to pick a quarterback from like now till the end, you probably have to go with Aaron Rodgers. He's getting a lot of points. They have a lot to play for, etc. So watch out for the I. The I is looking at you all the live long day. Terrell Owens with 12 in a pathetic effort by the Bengals. 0.4 from Ahmad Bradshaw, so there's that. 20 from LaShawn McCoy, 16 Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, 4 points for each name. And 26 from the Baltimore defense, 161.4. That's a whipping. That is the whomping of the week, I'm afraid. Almost a 50-point win for the Eye, which propels him into good playoff position. You Betcha versus Smell This. And I think it's safe to say at this point, we have smelled it, and it is not good. Drew's team, despite 57 from Peyton Manning and a losing effort, just doesn't get it done. 13 from Brandon Lloyd. Robbie Gould with 13. If it's a highlight, Robbie Gould is one of your highlights. It's not good. 22 from the Pittsburgh defense. 132. Good day, but not good enough because You Betcha busts out the 58 points from Breeze. What's with all these quarterbacks getting all these points? Steve Johnson, 31. Who's Steve Johnson? Oh, Buffalo. Okay. Whatever. LaDainian Tomlinson. No, he doesn't play for the Chargers anymore. He plays for the Jets with Santonio and Sanchez. Vicente Chiamco actually beats the Ajiro Tutu guy with 0.6 points. So two of the greatest names totaling only 0.6 points for the week. Braylon Edwards, 14. That guy. And 16 from the Tennessee defense. 171. You Betcha. Breaks the 500 barrier. Goes to 6-5. Drew plunges further into irrelevance at 3-8. All right, and the final game of the week was Brudda Is taking a chunk out of our leader, 134 to 120. Now, how did this happen? How could Ruff the Passer lose his second game of the year? Well, first of all, he wants you all to know that he has clinched the playoff berth. So there's that. 45 from Phillip Rivers, as always. 19.5 from Mike, not the guy from 60 Minutes Wallace. 13 from David Akers. As the old black and white version of the Gilligan's Island theme song used to say, and the rest. It all adds up to 120. Oh, he did have 8.8 from Adrian Peterson. Let me think. 24 from Peterson. From Foster. 8 from Peterson. That's a difference of 16. He lost by 13.9 points. I think that means... No, it couldn't possibly mean that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because Ruff the Passer's in anyway. He's cruising at this point. Matt Shop, 31 for Brudda Is, 10 from Roddy White, 24 from Maurice Jones-Drew, who's cool. I bet he's really cool, that guy. Darren Sproles, San Diego running back, 17 from Robert Meacham, who I have no idea who that is. 134, that's enough to beat the Arian Foster-less Ruff the Passer, dropping them to 9-2, which is still pretty darn good. Brudda Is 7-4 and very relevant to the playoff picture, which we will discuss right now. División del Norte is led by Ruff the Passer at 9-2. He's got a 2-game lead on the I and Brudda Is. Now here's how this is breaking down as far as I can tell at a glance. If Ruff the Passer wins one more game, he clinches the division and does not necessarily clinch number 1 seed, but gets close. Although if he finishes tied with Jamarcus Bentley probably will win on division record. So the I and Brudda Is are following him in División del Norte. They're 2 games behind. Basically, the magic number is 1 for Ruff the Passer to clinch the division, I think. Yes, that's right. So if he wins one or if the other 2 lose 1 each, then it's over. However, in the División del Sur, it's kind of the same. Jamarcus Bentley is ahead by 2 games, same deal, better division record, etc., etc. Here are the guys that are jockeying for the next positions. The I, Brudda Is, You Betcha, Ferocious Finnick, Ghetto Superstar, Smack Attack. Everybody else is pretty well out of it. I mean, Jolly Rogers probably technically has a chance. The Biz probably technically has a chance, but I think it's going to take 7 games to get into the playoffs. I said that a couple weeks ago. I think it's still true. Basically, Ghetto Superstar, Smack Attack 1, The Eye, Brother Is, You Betcha, and Ferocious Finnick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 of you guys aren't going to be happy at the end of the season. That's all I'm saying. Next week, the matchup of the week is there's a one with playoff implications that are serious. You Betcha and Brother Is head to head. Now they're both possibly going to the playoffs. If Brother Is wins, I think he's locked it down. Basically, The Eye playing Rough the Passer. Rough the Passer can clinch the division on that one win. Obviously, The Eye can do himself a lot of favors by winning that. Over on the other side, Jamarcus Bentley has Smack Attack 1. Smack Attack 1 would be eliminated if he loses. Pretty much every other game is just either irrelevant or spoiler games. So keep an eye out for that. All right, that's it. We're going into week, what is it going to be? It's going to be 12. When we do 13, and then it's the playoffs. So have fun. Talk to you guys later. Bye.